Hello everybody, it's a pleasure to have you guys today watching me do what I always do. So today we're going to be discussing on the fall of Blackberry. Yes, you heard me right. The fall of Blackberry. Pretty much anybody who is a Gen Z is familiar with the concept of the Blackberry. Now the Blackberry is a phone that existed in the 2010s. 2009, it was very heavy then. It was in the particular one they brought out that was called Blackberry Bold. If you had that phone that time, you were a very big boy. And there was this guy back in class who used to bring it to class in secondary school. It wasn't legal to bring phones to school. But this guy did not even care. He would bring the phone to school. You know, his parents were wealthy and so they were able to afford the phone for him. And we would also look at it with, you know, a certain kind of like, this guy must be really big. They must be really rich to be able to afford this kind of a phone. But pretty much soon, Blackberry was nowhere to be found. And I kept wondering, what happened to Blackberry? On research, I found out that Blackberry went off the market because it was no longer in demand. Okay? The same people who craved Blackberry and almost died for it a few years ago, after a few years ago, saw it as trash because something better came up. And guess what that thing was? The iPhone. You guessed rightly. The iPhone. Now, Blackberry had a touchpad with a screen that was a touch screen. They later developed into a touch screen, but it was absolute rubbish compared to the iPhone. The iPhone, on the other hand, was just a phone like we use today without any touch pad, just a screen that you can touch on. And not any keypad, rather, pardon my mistake. And people kept using this phone continuously. Now, we have iPhone 16 Pro Max, I heard, as a current one, which I was gonna afford, don't worry. It's a matter of time. But you can see what happened. One company had so much belief in itself and became almost delusional. I think delusion is something that kills companies, kills individuals. You don't want to accept the fact that you are losing, and it sometimes keeps you in a place of feeling a certain sort of safety, but it's a false safety because other people are moving ahead and you're like, no, it doesn't really matter because I still believe in my product. Blackberry, for example, even when iPhone came up and announced that they were going to bring up their product with certain features, Blackberry were on the top. They said that their product was still going to outlast iPhone. Because, according to them, the keypad was a special feature that humans do not want to leave or let go of. And so, because of that keypad, the feeling of pressing the keypad, they would not want to go ahead and patronize iPhone. But that was a big lie. iPhone, with its marketing strategy and its brand Apple that has existed over the years, there was no way it was not going to dominate. And a certain executive from the top company came in and joined them, in fact. So there was no way Blackberry is going to compete against that kind of a phone. So it's important that we pay attention to things. When things are moving, when trends are moving, you don't get left behind. You don't get left behind. I hope you have a lovely day, guys.